Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Reese's Random Reviews. I'm Reese, I'm about to give you a random review. Just before I get into it, I apologise that I've got a big box in this background and my room looks a bit messy. It's because I'm actually in the middle of packing. I'm moving back to London for university. It's my final year. I just thought now I'm taking a little break and I thought it'd be fun to just throw in this video really quickly to do another episode of Stephen King month. Okay guys, so let's get down to the review. Today I'm reviewing Secret Window. That's the film that I'm going to be reviewing today. It's another adaptation that I've seen from Stephen King's novel, and it stars Johnny Depp in the lead role. Now this film was released in 2004, but I remember strictly when I saw this movie, it was in 2011 on Channel 5 at 9 o'clock at night. That is how good my memory is. I seem to remember when I've seen these movies because they seem to stick to me from when I first saw them. Now, I never heard of Secret Window. I had no idea it was based off a Stephen King book. I had no idea that it was even out, and I had no idea that this was part of Johnny Depp's filmography. But looking back and researching about this film, I found out that this movie was actually released a year after Johnny Depp's success with Pirates of the Caribbean. And some people say that this movie was only made to try and be a box office success because of Johnny Depp starring in this movie straight after his fame of Pirates of the Caribbean. That is partly true, but I actually see more of this movie as a good effort. I actually really enjoy Secret Window. When this film was released, it had mixed and negative reviews. Some people said, yeah, it was alright, but it's not great. Some people dissed Johnny Depp's performance. Some people dissed the writing and the story. And to be honest, I don't know why, because to be honest, I think this is a really well-written film. And that's only because of David Coep. David Coep is the director and the writer of this movie. He's directed Ghost Town as well, starring Ricky Gervais. I thought that was a really good film. He has also done some on and off movies. Like, he hasn't really done some really fantastic films. But I think out of all the movies he has directed, Secret Window is definitely his best one. But David Coep as a writer is absolutely fantastic. I mean, he's written Jurassic Park. He's written the sequel, The Lost World. He wrote War of the Worlds in 2005. He even wrote, Panic Room, sorry, that literally came into the top of my head, Panic Room, which to me is his best written film. I think Panic Room is the best film he's ever written, and I think Secret Window is the best film he's ever directed. And I hope some people can agree with me, because when he directs suspenseful movies, he knows how to build suspense, and he knows how to create scary moments or scenes that are quite memorable. And Secret Window to me was actually quite a memorable, watchable, entertaining movie. And when I said to people, have you heard of Secret Window? It stars Johnny Depp and everything. People were like, I've never even seen that movie. I've never heard of it. And I was really shocked because I think Secret Window is a really good written film. I love films, or many even TV series, for example, not because of performances or settings, but because of tones and writing. Because performances could be on and off. And sometimes performances can be up and down. But if it's written well, and the actors perform that writing very well, then that is why I start to love programs like that. For example, Fargo, the TV series. I love that because that is also suspenseful. It's very unexpected. You don't know what's going to happen. And the writing in that film, or series, sorry, is amazing. But Secret Window has that taste. Now, just so you know, guys, I'm going to go into spoilers right now when I'm talking about the movie, so I recommend that you do not watch this video, all of it, by the way. If you haven't seen Secret Window, watch it, then come back to watch this video, because I'm now going to get into spoilers. Let me talk about Secret Window, the plot anyway. So the plot of the Secret Window film is about Johnny Depp, who plays a character called Mort Rainey. He's an author, but he's going through a sort of massive depression stage and literally boredom and not, literally sort of giving up on life in a way. He just doesn't give a shit about his work or anything anymore because his wife cheated on him. He found out in a very terrible way, and then he just slowly got into a terrible state. And then we see him have more trouble when a guy called John Shooter answers the door and says to him that apparently Mort Rainey stole his story. And Mort Rainey's confused. He's like, I don't get what's going on. I don't met you, and I haven't even heard of this guy. But John Shooter's like, you stole my story. You need to fix it for me, because otherwise I'm going to literally cause some problems. And then, Mort Rainey at first listens to these threats, but then he slowly starts to ignore them. But then consequences begin to occur, and this is where the spoilers begin to start. John Shooter then kills his dog. He then also burns his wife's house down. And also kills his detective to try and find John Shooter. and Mort Rainey is literally trapped in this corner. He doesn't know what to do, and he's just thinking, what the hell am I supposed to do? Like, how, you know, every time he tries to do something, John Shooter's always there, one step ahead of him, and beats him. And they literally are having this really psychological but also massive battle between each other of who wrote the book first and what's going on. And also Mort Rainey's trying to be careful that many people don't get hurt along the way, because the more he keeps investigating John Shooter, the more people get hurt. There's also this subplot as well where he's trying to divorce his wife, and because after the house burns down, he argues with the boyfriend of his wife, and it just kind of, it's kind of cliche at times, but it's kind of done in a very interesting way, because it does sort of link with the John Shooter stuff, especially when Mort Rainey starts to suspect that Tim, who's the boyfriend's name, is actually maybe the guy who sent John Shooter to him or anything. And then you kind of think, what the hell is going to go on? It kind of makes you think, you know, kind of muddle what's going on. But then, of course, the twist comes in, and this is where it gets really big, where we find out that Mort Rainey actually is himself John Shooter. And that twist, I remember watching it thinking, I had no idea, because obviously it was my first time watching it, and even myself, I was trying to analyse it and trying to think, you know, are these clues correct and everything, but part of me was like, it is kind of suspicious that John Shooter's never there when stuff happens. But then when John Shooter does arrive in front of Mort Rainey, and there are other characters in the background but they're dead or they've just gone past, it kind of makes me think, well, he is real, because why would the characters be there if he's there, you know? But then in the way, it kind of makes me think, hang on a minute, now it starts to make sense. When the flashbacks start coming in, the whole thing starts to make sense. I really do like Secret Window for many reasons, not just because of its writing, but also Johnny Depp's performance, I think, is very underrated. He's kind of funny in this movie. Like, I mean, Johnny Depp is quite funny naturally in some ways anyway, but in this movie, he kind of goes in different tones. One minute he's really funny, and one minute he's really scared, and one minute he's like, oh, you know. But to be honest, I actually like Johnny Depp's performance in this. It's very interesting, and he does a really good performance. Like, it's not fantastic or Oscar worthy, but it's very underrated, and to be honest, I think it's a really good performance, and I really do enjoy what he brings to the table on this movie. I just don't quite know what else to say. But apart from that, I really do enjoy Secret Window, and I do strongly recommend it. I mean, I think it's a brilliant film. The writing is amazing. Johnny Depp is great. The story is a bit on and off at times, but it is a very watchable, entertaining film, and I just think this film is very underrated. So for that reason, I am going to rate this film out of 10 a 9. Guys, honestly, if you haven't seen Secret Window, I do recommend it. I mean, if you don't care for spoilers, by the way, but I have spoiled the whole thing because I did warn you about that. But yeah, guys, if you haven't seen Secret Window, give it a watch, because I really do like it, and it's a really good film. Trust me, I really do enjoy it. But if you have seen Secret Window, please comment below and tell me what you think. Guys, as always, thank you so much for watching my videos. I've only literally got 3 more reviews now to do for Stephen King. I'm now going to do Room 1408, which is going to be the next one, and then I'm going to be reviewing the It miniseries, and then finally, when it comes out, I'm going to be going to seeing the remake of It 2017. Just so you know, I did book my tickets today, and I'm really looking forward to seeing this movie with my girlfriend. We're going on holiday to go and see this movie, so I'm really, really looking forward to it. Guys, as always, thank you so much for watching my videos. You guys are fantastic. Please comment and let me know what you think of Stephen King Month or any of the movies that I've seen in the past. You know, you can go back and look at them. And don't forget as well that more film projects are also coming on the way. And I'm Reese. I have just given you another random review.